When you're a mu'mina, when you are a Muslimah, that is the most beautiful thing in the sight of Allah. Assalamu alaikum, and we are back with another episode of ASKSQ. You ask, I respond. That's how this thing goes. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed. We always talk about topics that serve as very controversial or taboo, but they always serve as an iman booster. So let's get into this question. So a sister emails me and asks, I've been wearing the hijab and jilbab since the age of 18, which was my own choice. I'm 30 years old now, and I've always suffered from low self-esteem and confidence issues regarding the fact that my friends say I'm beautiful. So the sister clearly, as she mentioned, is suffering from confidence issues. And the funny thing about confidence issues is that confidence is established by the parents. Parents have a huge job to do, and that is establishing and empowering your children from a very young age. A lot of times, parents make their children feel unworthy or not good, or as they're not smart enough or good enough or good looking enough. So if you are a parent, make sure that you are empowering your children. And if you've had parents who have caused you to have some insecurities in your life, understand that your insecurities won't go away. You're always going to be insecure. I'm always going to have insecurities. Our job is not to remove the insecurities, it's to identify when we're being insecure, so that when you're in a situation and your insecurity pops up, you're able to identify that, hey, I'm just being insecure right now, and guess what? You're able to push through and say, no, I'm just being insecure, let me just keep going. So sister, my biggest advice to you and anyone else out there right now is that know that your insecurities are developed more than likely by your parents, but we can't keep blaming them for your insecurity and your problems. You got to be able to identify when you're being insecure and push past it and know it's just the waswasa of the shaitan. I work as a medical secretary in a hospital that lately I've been feeling extremely low. Now, she's already feeling low probably because of her job. Maybe things aren't going right in her work, but it's affecting her overall. I have been calling myself ugly and all sorts, meaning she's beating herself up right now. And when the shaitan does his waswasa, he speaks at such a frequency. Like, there's no radio in the world that can hear that, not even like a NASA radio. He speaks at such a low frequency that it goes directly into your brain and into your heart. His voice makes it seem like it's your own voice, that it's your own thoughts. His waswasa sound like it's your own thoughts, like I'm feeling this about yourself. It's really the shaitan's frequency of his waswasa is such a unique frequency that it makes you believe that it's your own thoughts and your own mind and your heart. It's not, it's the shaitan. At times I feel like taking off my hijab and jilbab, and maybe then I will feel beautiful. I feel so guilty for thinking this way, but I don't know how to stop it. Now, here's the thing, if this isn't directly a plot from the shaitan, I don't know what is, right? Like, you're doing something halal, you're doing something to please Allah, you're doing something that's beautiful in the sight of Allah, not in the sight of you, not in the sight of the world, not in the sight of your workspace friends. It's in the sight of Allah that this is beautiful. And that's the number one sight that matters, by the way. So if you're on the straight path, doesn't it make sense that shaitan is going to attack you from the right, from the left, from the front, from behind? Because you're on the right track, and that's a promise that he makes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the Quran. So know that if you're feeling attacked that you want to take it off, this is directly a plot of the shaitan. You're strong, you're doing fine. Your low self-esteem issues are coming from insecurities that you have about yourself that were placed by others, not you. Those insecurities are not your voices, those are the voices of your parents. But you gotta identify that and blow past them and push past those insecurities, because that's where success lies. And feeling guilt is very normal, right? Like, one part of you is torn up that you want to feel beautiful, or shaitan has made you believe that you'll feel more beautiful if you take off the hijab or the jilbab, and you feel bad for thinking that way, and you want to feel beautiful, and you feel bad for wanting to feel beautiful. But here's the thing, sister, one, you're already beautiful. Two, your beauty is not defined by how others perceive you. Your beauty is defined by how Allah perceives you. So if you are obeying Allah and seeking His pleasure, don't you think Allah believes you that you're the most beautiful person in this world? Like, you have to think about this, that when you're a mu'mina, when you are a Muslimah, that is the most beautiful thing in the sight of Allah, that there is a creation of Allah who is doing their absolute best to obey Allah and please Allah. That is beautiful. Now you have to change your values and your standards of what beauty means, because in your eyes, beauty might mean what others perceive you to be. But you have to update your standards and improve your standards to understand that beauty is whatever pleases Allah. That's what's supposed to be beautiful to you. And she doesn't know how to stop this. And like I said, sis, there's no stopping insecurities. Insecurities are in us all, but you have to identify when you're being insecure and push past those insecurities and update your standards of what beauty actually means, because Beauty should be pleasing Allah. And if something is beautiful in the sight of Allah, then it's beautiful to you as well too. You need to update your standards and values of what beauty actually means, and forget about the people, because they're always going to want to make you think that beauty is going to be in you taking off the jilbab or the hijab, but you have to identify that beauty is actually in pleasing your Lord. Well, that was my advice for the sister. I want to know, what would you advise this sister if she messaged you? I want to know, what would you tell the sister? Imagine she is watching this, which she will, and reading these comments, which she will. What would you like to tell the sisters? Drop them in the comments below. If you haven't already done so, make sure you're giving this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well too. And make sure that the notifications on and all that good stuff. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms over here, somewhere here. Wayoflifesq. You ask, I respond. That's how this thing goes. And until next time, I'm out.